Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of FoxxC's ApocalyptiKitchen, the show where I make things that I like to eat out of whatever I can find at the grocery store during quarantine. Today I'm going to be making my take on a cottage pie or shepherd's pie, and it's called a turkey gobbler. Why? All I could find was lean ground turkey. So, this is kind of following a sort of traditional-ish recipe for putting stuff into a casserole dish, putting it in the oven, and making it taste good. So you can see I have my 3 pounds of lean ground turkey. I've got 5 russet potatoes that I have peeled and chopped up, and I have salt and pepper. I have savory, parsley, rosemary, thyme, seasoned salt, celery salt, and some rice flour. I'm going to need a thickening agent for the roux I'm going to make. I have some cloves of garlic, I have some butter, and I have some cream. So, with this project, it kind of happens in 3 phases. Phase number 1, I'm going to put my potatoes on to boil. So, a cottage pie is, or shepherd's pie, is like a casserole dish with like a meat and vegetable base, and then mashed potatoes on top, and then you kind of bake it until those potatoes are nice and crispy. So while I'm doing the rest of this and making the filling, I'm going to be getting the topping prepared. It doesn't take very long to get that part. This is kind of one of those things when you're cooking, you can kind of break up your steps. So like that'll boil while I do this, and then this will be cooking while I mash my potatoes. Put that away. And so on and so forth. Okay, my next step, I'm going to need a couple other things to make this. Oh yeah, I forgot. Almost forgot. I'm going to throw a little bit of garlic in with my potatoes. Okay. Now I have 2 other very important ingredients. 1, mirepoix. If you saw my mirepoix video already, you know what that is, but check it out if you haven't. This is a cooking base made up of celery, carrots, and onions. It is going to form the basis for the aromatic flavor of my pie. And I need, my freezer is full. Oh, yeah. Mixed vegetables. So these are just like whatever frozen mixed veggies I could find. Peas, carrots, whole kernel corn, green beans, and lima beans. Perfect. How this is gonna work, I'm gonna turn on my big pan back here. I'm gonna turn that on to a medium heat of about 4. And I'm doing quite a big batch here because I have a very large casserole dish that I have consistently underfilled when trying to make this recipe. So I am loading it with goodness this time. And it's the kind of thing that should last me quite a while for just myself. So I'm starting with butter. This is a very not vegan dish, if you already can't tell. So I'm going to let that butter melt down there. This is going. So I can tell you a little bit about what's happening here. Now we're going to cut to me sauteing some vegetables. Probably going to use most of this bag of mirepoix. And then, yeah, I kind of just, I want half, really. So, you know, maybe like 2/3 of this. So, just gonna try to, this is a reminder to myself. For next time, be a little more fine when I cut, or coarse when I cut my mirepoix. But, okay. Okay, while I'm letting that block of mirepoix melt down, I'm going to add my garlic, which is my other aromatic. So this is fresh garlic. I'm using a press because I am so smart. Get a garlic press. It will save your fucking life. If you cook a lot. Especially if you like cooking with garlic. Whoop. Yep, that onion is, woo! That onion is starting to cook and bothering my eyes. I'm going to stand over here for now and look at the camera so that I don't start crying with my makeup on. Onions are like the base for every cuisine, but my goodness, I hate cooking them so much. Thought I would get away with this, and I am not getting away with it. No! Okay, fan. This is gonna ruin my sound, but here we go. Fan. Okay. I just get so emotional doing this for you. You folks. I can't even. No, it's just too much. No. Okay, so my mirepoix is cooking down really nicely. These are my garlic, my onions, my celery, my carrots. This is going to form a nice flavorful base for my filling for my pie. Now I am going to add my turkey, brown that, get that going. Could you chill? Okay, gonna take that to the sink. Wash my hands. Okay, I've got my ground turkey browning now. I didn't really even turn this up. You don't want to cook it up too high because then you're going to cook off all of the juices and stuff, which we're going to use to make the gravy, which is what a shepherd's pie also has. This is going to be kind of a trick because my lean ground turkey is not going to provide me a lot of fat for my gravy, which is a problem we're going to solve when we get there. Okay, so this is quite a bit of turkey. This is going to take a minute to brown. I will keep an eye on it. In the meantime, I'm going to take a look at these potatoes, which are... Let me get a fork so I can stick a fork in them. They still got a bit of a ways to go yet. That's fine. I'm going to leave that lid off. So we're right on schedule. I don't need this anymore. I'm going to go to the sink. Keep your workspace tidy. I do need, however, my big casserole dish. There we go. Okay, back to my turkey here. Just keep that going. So with stuff like this, the more you do, the longer it takes on this end to cook, and then you have lots prepared. Okay, those potatoes are good and done. These are going to go over to the sink with me. I'll be right back. So I don't like to fully drain them. I like to keep a little bit of potato water around when I do this, just so that they've got some moisture in there to mash. I got my lid. Now I've got my fancy dancy potato masher. I'm gonna go there for now. I'm gonna need lots of butter because this is how I roll when I make potatoes. Like a hot fork through butter. Okay, there's lots of butter. Gonna throw in the cream. Okay. Come out with some nice, creamy, buttery mashed potatoes. Some people will do stuff like add cheese at this stage. I'm not doing that. I do not want cheesy turkey cottage pie. That would be a lot. I call it today my turkey gobbler because it's like a cobbler, but it's made out of turkey and it's not dessert. And I'm cheesy as fuck. That's making progress there. You can see I've got some nice creamy mashed potatoes in my big pot here. So we've got some really good progress going on our filling here. Move that on. Okay, so again, this is just going to take some time cooking down until all that turkey is browned. And all the while, this turkey is stewing in that nice aromatic vegetable mixture that we put in there, that mirepoix. And garlic. So some people might add stuff like Worcestershire sauce or things like that to add some more liquid and give it that kind of rich, hearty flavor. I don't have Worcestershire sauce, so I'm going to have to figure out another way of doing things. As this is ApocalyptiKitchen, and I am working with what I can find at the grocery store or what happened to be in my pantry, which sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not okay. In this case, this is pretty okay. I have most of the things you would need to make a traditional cottage pie, except for like the beef or the lamb if you're making a shepherd's pie. But this is pretty much pretty close to the traditional recipe. Really, this is like a meat and vegetables with potatoes on top, baked in a dish. It's wonderful. I love it. I love it, which is why I'm sharing it with you. Okay, so as you can see now, my turkey is almost totally browned. This is this phase where I'm going to add my vegetables. I'm going to add a lot. I'm doing this now because they need some time to cook in the pan before they get baked. And I'm going to season it all as well. So this is going to help while it's finishing browning, and then everything will get seasoned together. I'm going to use... I'm not measuring. I'm just putting it in the pan. More. How healthy do I want to be is the question. Fairly healthy. I would say that's like 500 grams at least, maybe a little bit more. Down again. Now I'm going to season this. It's going to get salt and pepper. Yeah, and this is a to taste kind of thing. I don't like to over season my food. If you eat in restaurants a lot, they tend to put a lot of salt in everything, mostly because cooks smoke and then they do their test kitchen stuff after they've been smoking cigarettes. But also because salt and fat and sugar are what we like as humans. So I'm putting in some seasoned salt and celery salts instead of just regular table salt, just because they add a little bit more flavor. And like I was saying before, this is something that, a dish that you would put something like Worcestershire sauce into, and since I don't have any, I'm kind of making up for that. So this is going to be some savory. Rosemary. Thyme. Parsley. Sage is missing. Oh, hi, little kitty. Meow, meow. Okay. Now. Meow, meow, meow. Okay. So, I've got a little bit of liquid in here. So to make a gravy, I'm just kind of going to do it in the same pan as my turkey here. So traditionally to make a gravy, you're using the drippings from whatever meat that you've been cooking, and then adding like a thickening agent like flour to that dripping to create that like thick sauce-like thing. But because I've been using extra lean turkey, which is already a fairly lean meat, I have very little to work with. So I'm going to give myself some more fat in the pan by adding a bunch of butter. Okay. And then I'm going to need my thickening agent, which is this unopened bag of rice flour that I have here. One of my housemates has a very, very bad gluten allergy, celiacs, and so has respectfully requested that we keep the flour, the gluten content of the house down as much as possible, which I do my best. I have a hungry cat who's looking very forlornly at my face right now. Meow meow. Yeah. Meow. Well, this is my dinner. Yeah. I'll feed you after, I promise. Alright, we're almost done. I'm just going to add this rice flour in to my filling here. So that's going to soak up that extra moisture and fat and just give it that nice, thick, hearty texture and like goodness that you find in a good quality shepherd's pie, cottage pie, or turkey gobbler. Alright, that looks super delicious. This is my filling for my turkey gobbler. Here it goes, just into my baking pan. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, that looks so delicious and gravy-y. And I totally got my proportions right this time. This is a really big baking dish. And I didn't realize how big it was when I made my first couple batches of this. This is 3 pounds of turkey. And like, meow, I know. She's like, you're talking to the camera and not to me. What's going on, Mom? 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 Meow? Meow? Okay, I'm gonna turn that off. Now we get our potatoes. Spoon here. Now these are going to get spooned evenly over the top of my casserole filling. my ground turkey and veggie adventure. I did 5 big russet potatoes, should be more than enough. The good part about making a dish like this is if you make yourself too much mashed potatoes, you've just made yourself a snack. Okay, so yeah, smooth out the top. This is going to go, I have my oven at 350. It's going to go in here for about 45 minutes, and then we'll be done. And what else can I say? I think that's it. I'll come back and show you when we're all finished. In the meantime, I'm going to clean up, and we'll be back. Hi everybody, and welcome back to FoxxC's ApocalyptiKitchen. I'm making a turkey gobbler, or cottage pie. It should be just about done. And we're going to take a quick looky here in my oven. Oh yeah. So we've got that nice golden brown crust forming on top there. This looks absolutely delicious. I'm going to put that down and let it start to cool before I eat some. Now that's going to feed me all week, which is great. Maybe more than a week. There's a ton of food here. I'm very excited. Turn that beep 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 off. So, this was my take on cottage pie or shepherd's pie. I call it my turkey gobbler because it is made out of turkey and it is a pie without a wraparound crust. If you've enjoyed what I'm doing here today, you can check out the rest of my channel where I do stuff like video essays, other tutorials, and more cooking stuff. You can look at the mirepoix video that I did as the veggie base for this dish. And if you want to support Fox Tales and the show that I'm doing here, like, share, subscribe at the bottom of the screen. That was in the wrong order because it should be going that way for you. And if you would like to go a step further, you can consider becoming a patron at www.patreon.com/foxtails. Or if you just feel like buying me a coffee, coffee.com/foxtails. And I think that's it. It was lovely seeing you here, and I'll catch you folks next time. Bye!